So there are these two Dragon Ball games on Roblox that are very, very similar. As you can tell, this one is Final Remastered, and the other one that is very similar. From the thumbnail, you couldn't tell, it is Dragon Generations. It used to be known as Dragon Ball Online Generations. They both have this universe-style combat, where you have the combo strings up the left click and the right click, and you can intermix them. And it feels decent. I've never been a really big fan of universe combat, but it's not the worst, and thankfully, nothing's too crazy when it comes to enemy NPCs. However, to me, it gets boring. Like, I want to see some Majins or humans, Namekians, stuff like that to spice it up and look at something different. And then it gives you a reason to replay through the game again, so that you get new forms from different races. Now, I'm going to show the Super Saiyan forms here for Dragon Generations and Final Remastered. This is what they look like. They are, as you can tell, one's definitely more graphically intense than the other. But for the most part, they are very similar when it comes to how the game just looks when you play. It is definitely awesome that Final Remaster looks amazing and is very breathtaking, but that also can mean that if it ever comes to mobile, it will be quite intense to run this game, and I don't think many phones will be able to do that. Well, not the new phones, the old phones mostly. Anyways, there's some really cool looking forms. I really like in this game, Super Saiyan 3, what makes it so good is that you have the hair. It's like slowly waving, just flowing in the wind, and obviously the lightning. And since I'm a bad guy, I get purple lightning, like Majin. But if you're a good person, or a good lineage, you get blue lightning, and you get blue eyes instead of red eyes. Little details like that. I've always liked that. And in Dragon Generations, it's not as detailed, but it still looks good. Now, this game, for those who know, who've played it, or played both, Dragon Generations does not yet have god forms, and this game does, and they look pretty great. Rose Evolution, I won't lie, is one of the weaker ones, for sure, for sure. But they really know how to do Rose well. Rose looks quite nice. Definitely a divine form, looks very good. And then one of my favorites, besides Super Saiyan 3, is actually Super Saiyan God. It just looks so, I don't know how to describe it. Maybe it looks like it's from Super? I don't, it just, okay. It looks shiny, it looks shiny. Or something, so polished. It just looks good, okay? That's all I'm saying. Super Saiyan God looks good, very cool form. I like it a lot. When it comes to Dragon Generations, my favorite form, the hard one, I can't really think of my favorite form. I've played Frieza's, played Saiyans. Savior from Heaven, I guess, would be the best pick. But if I had to pick between that and, I haven't even showed you this yet, Savior from Heaven or Super Saiyan 5. Now, I'm not going to lie. I just don't. It just looks really cool. It's Super Saiyan 5, bro. You have the bangs, the aura, the hair. Yeah. Put it simply, I think it looks better. The hair's a bit long, but just pretend it's not theirs. Look at this part. Something completely different about the games is the leveling. When you go through Final Remastered, there are quests, but you mostly will shadow train at the beginning, or like you'll beat up your shadow for power level. Like this is the main way when you start pretty much to get power level, because, well, questing isn't quite yet effective. For quests, you would farm dragon stones and then use those stones to input stats. And thankfully, I like it a lot, because the problem with this game is that it used to be all the same. For example, when you would start playing, you would literally just shadow train throughout the entire game, and that's all you do to progress. And then once you got enough strength for HTC, you'd buy the Game Pass and then put on heavyweights and go train there. That's how you trained, that's how you did it. It was very boring, very repetitive. There were mini games before, until they updated. The mini games are fun, I like it, the reaction speed is nice. You can definitely feel yourself get faster the more you do it. But the repetition was just simply too much, to be honest. And you would do the same thing for like hours. However, now you would do the shadow training and mini games for the first like 40,000 power level. Then you farm quests that drop dragon stones and just pull up your menu when you get enough dragon stones from doing quests and put them in. It's pretty simple, but you can mix it up too, going rotating between. Even though farming dragon stones is way faster, it's not even close. Oh, the raid's open. So which one has the cooler moves? You know, there's a lot of good looking moves in both. But man, I'm gonna have to be honest here. Bottom Remastered might just have it. Like, let's check this out. Seer Destruction. Okay, that didn't do anything, but it looked cool, right? It looked cool. And now let's try this one. Okay. Okay, it didn't work. Well, I promise you it looks amazing, alright? Here's like a scene of it. And then Ultra Divine Dance. Oh. Here's the move. Shattering God Slicer. Okay, you can't really see anything, but I promise it looks awesome. Here we go. And you slap them. And you have like little guys come out. You're literally Goku Black and his clones. Main character Black. Boom. Done. Awesomeness. And then you have boost moves. Which all these are, they're just power buffs. Sickle of Sorrow is the Game Pass. And man, is it fun. Okay, so I like Sickle of Sorrow and it's not on. Here we go. Sickle of Sorrow. A whole new moveset. And you get 2 new moves too. Very, very cool indeed. Now, this dramatically increases your damage, and you get awesome new moveset. Symbol of Fury, this just buffs your damage. And then Blade of a Violent God, this is a really hard-hitting attack. It does much more than a Kamehameha. Like, let's beat up this Shadow here, for instance. Okay, I said beat up. Yeah, look at that damage. And send it down. Yeah, that's far more damage than we were doing earlier when we were fighting him. Okay, so yeah, pretty cool, pretty cool. Now, the games do have very similar worlds. We have Earth, of course. There's also Otherworld in both games. Namek, and that used to be it for Final Remastered, but now we have space. And in space, you just go through space. Who would have guessed? In space, you go through the space that is the space of all this space in space. What a sentence. Really makes one think. Anyways, Dragon Generations has a lot of maps, and they keep adding more and more, which definitely is good. My main problem with the game is that all the worlds function the same, is you just quest through them. And it's not a huge problem since they do variate the quests by like killing the mounts or fetching. Then they'll mix it up so it doesn't get repetitive. However, I just hope that doesn't continue all the way, since for me, when you play so many Dragon Ball games, it gets pretty burning out. I want more mini games in the Dragon Ball games. You wanna know the best part about this game? There's this guy called Hercule, and he has a gym. There's a treadmill. If you ever wanted to go training in a Dragon Ball game, running on treadmills, or lifting weights, well, your dream comes true. Here you can do that. Chill with Hercule in his place of working out. Beat up that punching bag. Another thing that's very similar between the games is the raids. Now, in Final Remastered, there's no like teleporter for raids. What you do is you find them out in the world, and the endgame ones with like a lot of stats, like Golden Frieza or Cell, they take 5 minutes to spawn, and the ones like Vegeta and Raditz, they take literally 1 minute. And the raids are pretty tough. Like, I am far stronger than the quest requirements, and they still can tank, as you see. Like, yeah, they damage me too. So stats are important, but knowing what you're doing is far more important. Fortunately, it's not a simulator, and you can't one-shot them if you're just like 3 times stronger. Sucks, I know, it's awful. Anyways, let's try out this move. But remember when I said that this move was awesome? Okay, well, didn't do it. Fine. Alright, so Final Remastered, pretty great. I will not lie, I will not lie. The Dragon Ball games, it's nice having things similar like this, but being different. They look very, very similar, as I've said so many times already. But I promise you, it's true. Just look at them. The forms. Like, they aren't that far off, right? Anyways, this was me just rambling about Dragon Ball games on Roblox, the ones I've played in abundance. So if you enjoyed, you should totally subscribe. You get a 3 million stat boost in both games. They just haven't added it yet, so you might not notice it. Anyways, now I'm gonna fall down. Greetings, Shadow.